We are live.
We're live again.
That's right.
Again.
Again, we are. Oh, look at that. I just came from work.
Another Monday night. Oops, I just kicked my computer.
I see that. So here's the thing. One of the most important thing that I think, one of the most important work, I think, is being a mom.
Do you want to give it a minute?
Sure.
So yeah, tell us about your day, because you literally just walked in the door.
I literally just walked in the door
at 7:53.
Well, the practice, the gymnastic practice went good, went really good. But I tell you, today was a day that I guess it was trying to get me. So as I was driving, when you come through Jefferson, right? There's somebody that decided not to stop on the stop sign and just kept going, almost hit me.
So on the corner.
Yeah, and I looked and I pointed. It's a stop sign.
Yeah.
And the lady stopped in the middle of the road.
Realizing.
And she realized that she just went, and then she started laughing, right? So then I went, and that was fine. And then I was going on 17, and that turn when coming towards the racetrack. So the light turns green for me. Apparently, the truck driver, big truck, didn't matter that his light was red. He just kept going, and I was about to go, and then he just kept going, and he was going fast. So he had he wasn't going to stop. It's about that simple. So that's two. Right, then the other one is I was going towards the post office, and as I was going to make a left turn, this person put a blinker that they're going to make a right turn, didn't turn, went straight. So I stopped, so now stopping and looking. This is all happening within the same time that I was coming home. And not now. I'm talking about this afternoon.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say what's the common denominator in all three of those instances?
That people don't follow rules. That's basically it. So I was following my rules, but they weren't following rules.
Hi, Daryl. Daryl just got his second gift today. His prize. So you guys who are coming on, let us know when you get here. Let us know you're here. Say hello.
I see Melissa is there already.
We have a super, super, duper exciting show today.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. One of the hardest job, and some people don't say it's a job because it's your kids. You're taking care of your kids. But then you also had to balance your kids, and if you're working, you had to balance that, and then if you're working out, you had to balance that. So everything comes together, and it's one of the hardest jobs that anyone could do.
Yeah, it really is, and especially during this time, it's very strange. There are parents who have the luxury, I guess, and I use that term loosely, to have their kids home, doing all remote, and don't have to worry about, getting to work back and forth. Maybe their spouse is on a different schedule, and it works out. But there are also parents who are struggling with that.
Right.
I see a lot of posts from moms on Facebook, and I remember when we just went to remote learning back in March or whatever, when the shutdown first happened, and mothers were on Facebook and pouring their hearts out. They were looking for help, and one of our neighbors who lived over here posted how much of a struggle it is, and was like, I can't really get the kids to do work because she's a nurse. So thank you, Katie Rodriguez. So she's a nurse, and it was a struggle for her. And I said, listen, if you need help, if the kids need help, at the time we weren't really sure about how contagious the disease was. This was really the height of it, so we didn't know. And I said, if I can help and Zoom them just please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I even volunteered my daughter who's a senior. I was like, if Layla can help them, just let us know, because it's really become, a struggle and a challenge for a lot of moms
Right.
and dads. So I think
Right.
this show was a really good idea for us to do this and find out how they balance it.
Right.
Karen Riley is here, all two of them. Daryl checked in, says he loves the gift. And Abby says, glad those vehicles all missed you. Me too. Abby, me too.
They missed me by just this much. Well, a couple of them.
So we have 3 guests.
Yeah, we had 3 guests
3
today.
moms tonight. 3 hard-working moms that are juggling.
And one of them is working right now. She actually taking her lunch to talk to us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we will not keep her that long. Tonight we have Melissa DiCostanzo, Vanecia Patrick, and Laura Shiner. They should be coming in pretty soon. But do you want to bring Melissa in and let her chat?
Sure, we could do that.
Okay, so we're going to bring Melissa in right now, guys, so she can chat with us briefly.
Hi.
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 Can you hear me with the mask on?
Yes.
Hospital, so I got to have it on at all times while I'm here.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, perfect. Nice to see
So you were obviously at work.
I am at work. I am essential. I am a nurse. I have been working throughout the entire pandemic. So to say it's been a challenge is an understatement. But we do what we have to do, right? We do what we have to do with our new norm and making sure that everybody stays safe and healthy and that the kids are getting taken care of. And believe me, I have a lot of support with that. So I'm very fortunate in the sense that my husband has really stepped up, and that also, like, their teachers are amazing. They're completely virtual right now, but we do have them enrolled in their old daycare, actually, took them. So they've really, made my life so much easier as far as the balancing act. And I realize not everybody has that luxury like I do, but yeah, it's a challenge for sure. For sure.
So how was it at the beginning of the shutdown, when sort of everything just came to a halt?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Well, first of all, we had no idea what we were in for. So I work in recovery when you wake up from surgery. For me, I have critical care experience as well, so it wasn't as much of a shock when we went into COVID ventilator mode. But we just there's so much fear and anxiety, and as there still is, I know everybody's kind of getting worried as these spikes are happening, and we're hoping that we don't have to go back to what we dealt with. But it was a challenge, definitely. I tried to just distance from my family because we didn't know what to expect, when you're
right
all the time, you just have that fear of going from being a healer to being like the virus, and a little bit toxic, so to speak. So it was rough, but it's we obviously know that PPE works, right? As I wear my mask, we can see that definitely that has helped for sure. And we're learning more about it. So that's a plus. And healthcare professionals everywhere have really done an amazing job, an outstanding job with just keeping going and making sure that, we're out there to help and protect and save everybody else. And now the teachers are doing it for us. So kudos to you, teachers.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how they're getting it all together and putting in the endless hours and the extra hours, right? Because everybody has to be flexible. So I really, hats off to the teachers. You guys are the real MVP right now.
Yes. Teachers, we appreciate you. So Laura Shiner has checked in. So we are going to bring her in and introduce her at this time as well. A little higher. Lower. There we go.
Hey.
Hey, Laura.
Hello. Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm on Matt's really old school computer, so the image is not the greatest. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How are you guys?
Great.
So we just brought in Laura Shiner, who is also a mom extraordinaire. She's balancing homeschooling, work, and staying fit. So Laura, tell us about your experience, like during with the beginning of the shutdown. That's what we're starting with, like back in March.
So what's really funny is a year ago exactly, I went back to work. I was a stay-at-home mom for 7.5 years, and I went back to work in October. And then the pandemic hits, and Matt, that's always been the person that works, his job shuts down at the casino, and I become an essential employee because I work for Resnick Energy, which is a fuel oil company, which is utilities. So I've worked through the whole pandemic while Matt was home up until last month, whenever the casino opened again. So he's been home being a really good stay-at-home husband while I worked. But it still is. So the one thing that I have been so constant with have been my workouts. So his schedule before used to be 6 a.m. So he would wake up at 5 a.m, and I would get up when he would get up, and he would leave, and I would work out, get ready for work, get the kids ready, drop them off to school. So when right now he doesn't have work, or he didn't have work, right now he's not working mornings, he works evenings now. So I continued that 5:30 wake up every single morning, Monday through Friday, since March 16th, I at 5:30 in the morning, and I get up and I have my coffee and peace and quiet. There's no one awake, only the cats. I have to feed the cats. And then afterwards I work out, and I've worked out Monday through Friday before anyone wakes up in this house. But it's the only thing I feel like I have control of right now. And it's incredibly important for my mental health. So that is, that's been going on. Matt being home and being with the kids has obviously been incredible, because I don't want to be home with the kids. I don't want to do the homeschooling. So, but he's been amazing. It's been very different for both of us. So, but it's been good.
Melissa, how did you get into working out? Because I see you working out all the time.
Yes.
Well, it's been probably, I guess, a good 7-year process. I mean, I was active in high school, obviously, then the 20s hit. But I had my son, and he was almost a year, and I threw my back out from picking him up, and I was like, got to change something. And now it's completely mental health. I'm a 5 a.m. workout girl myself, so I get it. That's the golden hour, right? You have your time alone, and you can just really push yourself hard and make it happen. And I love it. So any and everything. I do it all.
One thing that you both have in common is that I taught both of you.
Yes. You're my old coach.
Yes.
A moment here, right?
You were little. But I seen you. You were an animal. I seen you really going at it.
Yeah.
I seen both of you working out.
I followed you for a 5K you ran in the rain. I don't remember. It was you and your husband were streaming it live a few months ago. I don't remember what 5K it was, but I'm like, this girl is a rock star.
Oh, thank you. That was our Allison Whitney 5K. But around this time last year, we committed to running a marathon. So we ran our first marathon together, which unfortunately got canceled, obviously. That was supposed to be in April, but we decided to continue our training, and we ended up running our marathon locally. We had a great support.
I remember that's what it was. You guys were every mile you were checking in, and I was following up. I was so cool. Very cool.
And a lot of people reached out to us too, thank you so much for putting yourself out there, your silliness, your highs, your lows. We completely
so cool.
And it helped people too. So I'm like, you know what? If I have to put myself out there and just be a ridiculous person on Facebook, then that's what I'll do, because any and everything that you can do to just get by, I think, for your mental health is, we may seem like we're animals and we have it all together, but I think one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I'm teaching myself too and saying, is that it's okay not to be okay, So whatever outlet you have or support system, and, whatever it is, get it out, because you're not alone. I think everybody's struggling. And I think now with the colder weather coming, it's kind of hitting again. So yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll keep you guys laughing throughout the winter.
That's good.
That's one of the main reasons we wanted to do this show with moms who are going through this, because I feel like moms really need to encourage each other. Women need to encourage each other, and I wanted to bring some people on that, you know, people could look at and say, hey, I could do that, because Laura, you post videos of yourself working out at home, very minimal equipment.
Yeah.
Very minimal. And I think that's important for people to understand. You don't always need to have, I mean, gym memberships are great, but you don't always need that, because some people are in that mindset, oh, I don't have the proper weights or whatever. So tell us a little bit about the workouts that you do at home with no weights.
So my kids are 13 months apart. So when Mariano was born, Madison was a year old. And Matt was going to school and being a chef and not home. You guys more than anyone know what our life was like. And there was just no way that I could get to a gym. There was no way we could afford a gym. There was no way that, so I joined Beachbody on Demand. I joined Team Beachbody, not even Beachbody on Demand. It was Team Beachbody. My son is 7.5, so it's been 6.5 years at this point. I started with T25 at this point. I lost count of how many workouts I've actually done through them. I think I'm up to almost 30 programs completed. I started another one this morning. I'm just repeating one because I just finished one, and I just, but it has become I feel like becoming a mom to 2 kids so young and so close in age, and Matt not being home. He's a great dad, but he was just, his schedule was crazy, and I needed something that was for me, and Beachbody gave me that. Beachbody helped me have some other purpose than just being a mom. So that's how I started with them. And it's honestly, I tell people, I'm like, it's the best $99 I spend every year. It's $99 for 12 months of every workout they own, and you do it from home in my pajamas. I don't even get out of pajamas.
Yeah. That's how I started joining an online fitness community called Tone It Up. And they have like a similar approach and things like that. But if I could just interject, if money is what the problem is for your home workouts, there's a fantastic app called Fit On, and it's free, and they have every single kind of workout you can imagine, from HIIT workouts to strengthening to yoga, stretching, whatever you need, they have it. And they're all like really top-notch trainers. So that's a really great one. And I love HIIT. HIIT is like one of my favorite at-home workouts to do. You don't need a lot. And resistance bands. If you could get a couple of resistance bands.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them here.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah, it's all you need, really.
Really, it is. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
And how much? I think I paid.
And it changes your whole mindset. Just 20 minutes. There's no workout you'll regret except the workout you don't do. It's so cliche, but it's the truth.
I love
like
that.
you gotta push through it.
Yeah, 100%. Anything you get it stuff is, and if you miss a day, stuff up, it's okay. You get back tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
And I see your husband is getting into it too. Yeah, your husband.
Yeah, he actually just did a 102-mile bike ride like last week. So yeah, and if you can put together, great. It's not, if you need that personal space, which I get, because it's kind of like I need a little that, but do some stuff together, and then have like your alone time too if you do that. But yeah, he's an animal. He blows me out of the water. I think he's watching too. So.
I'm sure. And I'm glad that you're doing that, because one of the best way that you could teach a kid is by example. And see, if you're doing this and the kids are watching you, guess what? They learn early on how important exercise is.
Absolutely.
It's not only good for your physical self, but for your mental as well.
Sure.
That you do something that you couldn't do before, even a cartwheel. It kind of, it gives you more self-confidence, you know. So if the kids are watching you doing this, that's a good lesson for them. Now, how are they doing?
My kids are okay because they have each other. They miss their friends, and like I said, they do get to go to their daycare, so they do see some children. But they didn't leave the house until I want to say July. So like they were home. They didn't even go to the store. So, you can definitely see it in their eyes, and they'll say things like, "Oh, I miss so and so," or "Why can't we see that one?" So it's tough, but they're resilient and they understand. So they know that this is not going to be forever, but sometimes they'll say like, "I hate coronavirus. I just hate it."
We all do.
We've all said that.
I was like, I'm with you, but they're doing okay. I think.
Yeah, and same thing with us. Maddie and MJ have each other, which luckily, and they have my brothers who care for them when Matt and I are not home, and but also Madison is very social. Mariano is happy home. Mariano is happy in his underwear playing video games. He is living his best life. Madison needs the social interaction. She needs to be with people and doing and busy, and because if I hear I'm bored one more time, I'm going to lose it. That's, needs to be constantly entertained.
Okay, so we look like we see Vanecia there. So
we have our third guest in. Melissa, how old are your kids?
8 and 5.
8 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine are 8 and 7.
8 and 7. Yeah. Oh, okay. Vanecia.
Yeah, they're probably, Maddie is probably and your 8-year-old are probably in school together.
So we have Vanecia there.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. You all hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly.
Okay. I'm using my phone.
You're using your phone? Oh, okay.
Because the other device wasn't working. We saw you, but it said it didn't connect.
Oh, just the mic needed to connect. Melissa, we are not going to keep you. We know you're at work. You probably want to eat something. So any last words of encouragement for moms with children trying to make it all work and stay fit?
Sure. I would say, number one, use your support system. Get that mental health right first. That's so important. And again, you're not alone. Even if it looks like we all have it together, we do not. We're all struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it. So don't feel like you're alone. Reach out if you need something. Number 2, remember, do your best as far as like eating healthy. Like, I feel like when you fuel your body with good food, you get a lot more out of it and you feel better. And 3, just do whatever you can for your fitness, like Laura and I have both said, we started off in the beginning, like just one thing at a time, right? You join a program, you accomplish one thing, set small goals for yourself so that when you do achieve them and you get to that bigger goal, and maybe it is running a marathon, or maybe it's just walking a 5K or doing a 15-minute workout 3 times a week, I feel like a goal-oriented program or something of that nature, when you reach those accomplishments and those milestones, it feels really good. So you're doing good, Mama. That's what I have to say. You're all doing good.
I'm going to read you. Your husband left a comment, Melissa. He said, "I don't beat you. You push me."
That's
And Daryl Brackett said, "Melissa, please know everything you do is felt and appreciated everywhere. I'm in Raleigh, and my son is studying to be a nurse."
Oh, thank you. That was so sweet, guys. Oh, good for your son. It's a very rewarding job, and I think nurses are the heartbeat of the hospital. All staff is, but you really got to have a little something here. What we do. So thanks so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Melissa. Go eat something and have the rest of the night.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you ladies can hold on. There we go. Okay, so Vanecia, thank you for joining us tonight. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the shutdown and juggling the kids and schooling at home.
Well, it was chaos at the beginning, so I can't say it was nice and smooth and it was kind of chaotic because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if the world was coming to an end or what we need to be prepared for, if we had enough food and things like that. So it's kind of hectic. And the most important things was, okay, we got to make sure we have enough food in the house if we can't go out anywhere, and then figure out how we're going to do school. Because the kids were, academically, they were getting up there, doing better. And then this happened and it took them by storm. And it was kind of difficult to kind of navigate initially in this kind of remote environment. So it was definitely took some getting used to. But they pulled through it. And I think the start of this year, they're doing a lot better. Mm-hmm. As for me, I had to make sure I didn't go crazy because sometimes you do need a break when your kids are home. Mm-hmm. And, that break that we were seeing each other every single day. Yeah. And that meant they wanted something to eat. They want this or that. You have to make special arrangements because I have little ones. And thank God my mom was around and my mother-in-law to kind of step in and help us out during that time. Wow. Because we couldn't have really done it without that kind of assistance. Mm-hmm. With the little ones. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and it was just kind of, it was tough. She was 2 at the time and then turned 3. So just navigating with them and giving them the attention they needed was really tough. And then the older kids too, it kind of helped to structure things at home a lot better. Things that I didn't have time to do, like, hey, we got to get the chore list correct. Like everyone has to participate in keeping the house clean. We're all here and we're able to get that down. I mean, I've done chore lists in the past, but every time I get busy, I get up, I do what I have to do. They forget about it or they conveniently forget about it. But now we have a list. So that was helpful to be able to put them on point to do that. And then for me, mentally, I started watching a YouTube video to kind of, I said, I physically need to get stronger. I need to do something. I feel like I want to run a mile and I can't. So how do I get myself started and going? So I started with the YouTube video, watching, saying, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes of workout a day and see how far I get there. Then, I said, let me reach out again and see what's going on with gymnastics. What's Pete and Crystal doing over there? Because I know it was a tough time. And I've thought about it in my mind so many times that I said, oh no, I'm too old. They're not really paying attention to people like me. So when I reached out and, Pete said, yes, I have time on the calendar and I can actually meet with you. And I was like, okay, this is going to really happen. And no, seriously. I'm like, I'm actually going to do this. And that means I'm committed.
Just so we can put it into perspective, for other moms, how many children do you have?
5.
5 children. Okay, so we've got a good balance here. We have Laura with 2, Melissa with 2 who just left, and Vanecia with 5 children. So even if you have 5 children, you can find time for yourself.
Well, one of the funny things is that the same thing that inspired my wife, and I don't know about Laura, but it's a photo of
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Laura, did you see the picture that I posted of Halle Berry and she was in a bikini and she's 54 years old? And I'm like,
no, but I can only imagine. She's like a total life form.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
it was really tiring.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You look at that and we know she probably has trainers, but there are people that we know of who are rocking it. And I thought that to myself. I'm like, okay, maybe that's something that people can't look at and think that they could attain. But we're looking at moms that are working and are working out and are staying fit. And I was like, we need to have a show about this. So you guys, us having you on is such an inspiration, you know, to all the moms that will watch this show, because it'll be available for playback. So please be sure to share it, because we want to encourage as many people in this time. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I tell you, it was good for my mental health. I mean, Pete really, like, he made me, I didn't feel so awkward, because, you know, you're older. He's like, okay, am I really? He's like, oh no, I've dealt with this before. It's nothing new. Relax. And you can do this, believe it or not. And those small little accomplishments that I made, I'm learning to do a handstand. I mean, those things that I've never done in my life, just to make those little accomplishments were just, it really helped me mentally to kind of navigate and manage everything at home.
Absolutely. I just mentioned sharing the video. Melissa said shared already, so that is great. Laura, tell us about the homeschooling process. I know you said Matt just took care of that because he was at home. So tell us about his homeschooling process, how he managed that.
So obviously in the spring, it was a little less structured. So he kind of had packets to go on, and I am a very type A person. So I made kind of like a schedule for them to follow, and the kids take music lessons. So Mariano plays the piano and Madison plays the guitar. So we kind of just let that be their music class. And I emailed the teachers and I'm like, listen, like we can't be, they're doing, so they did that. Now in the fall, it's been a little more structured. Mm-hmm. He did go back to work at the beginning of September, I believe, August. And obviously Mariano's school was one of the schools that closed. My kids do go hybrid, so they're supposed to be in school 2 days a week. Mariano's school was one of the schools that closed due to high exposure in the staff. So it ended up being my brothers that are high schoolers. My brother is Layla's age. It ended up being my brothers here. So while they were trying to take high school classes, they were trying to make sure my kids were signing on to their meet and, everything else. So it's been hectic. It's been, but Melissa said it best. Kids are so resilient. I feel like it's us adults that are in our heads, because the kids are just so good with the flow and just so cool. They're like, okay, like you're going to school tomorrow. Okay, you got to wear a mask. Sure. And they don't care. And adults are like crying about it.
That is such a good point. And I love that you both said the same thing, that it's really important that you have a support system. Vanecia, you mentioned that your mother and mother-in-law were there to step in and help. And I think that is really important. It may not be your mother and mother-in-law. Like I said in the beginning, I called my neighbor, or I messaged my neighbor. I said, hey, do you need me to help your kid on Zoom? Like I will do that. So I think it's important to have a support system.
Yeah. Yep. I totally listen. I think also that the way that you have your family structure, like is your oldest son helping you, Vanecia?
He helps me. He does. He's been more helpful than before. I think they're more understanding. Being home, just seeing like all the things that I have to do. So he's been helpful doing his chores, and if he needs to babysit, sometimes he steps in and does that.
That is awesome.
And I like that, Laura, you and your husband switch roles.
Yeah. Oh, did she freeze?
She's frozen. She's meditating.
We did. It was a completely, we went from him being gone 12-hour days, 5 days a week, 6, 7 days a week, to home and me being gone. And it was just, He was such a good house husband. All the laundry, all the cooking, the kids, you name it. It was just amazing. Told him we can do this forever.
Laundry.
I don't do the laundry.
Everything. It was amazing. I'll spare the story of the first time I asked him to do the linens. I'll spare you that story.
Well, but your husband is a cook, so that was easy.
He is
really, really good.
Yes, he is.
He's
a great chef, so we got good food.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, your reaction is a little late, so I have to wait a little bit.
I'm sorry. I'm like I said, I'm on this old. I couldn't get on my phone. I tried. It wouldn't let me.
Oh, really?
Technology.
Yeah. So I'm on my old laptop.
And with Vanecia, it was the opposite, right? You on your phone.
Yeah, now she's on her phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
You know, whichever device works, right? That's the one you use.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we let you ladies go, Laura, give us some tips and advice to any moms that are watching or any moms that will watch this, fitness tips on how to stay mentally and physically healthy.
So you can't pour from an empty cup. That is my advice. It's so cliche, but you have to do it. You have to take care of yourself so you can take care of everyone else. Whether that is a 10-minute walk or anything, anything. Any kind of workout, even if it's 20 minutes, sometimes just sitting down and reading 20 minutes by myself. Like I said, that's probably my favorite part of the day is drinking coffee in quiet. And, we need to do that for ourselves. And then working out, you just, the kids will learn that this is, this needs to be a part of your lifestyle. The kids will know to either join you or just, they're not going. A lot of times I hear from other moms like, oh, well, I have kids. Well, I have kids too. My kids have been there working out right with me. I remember MJ being an infant laying on the floor next to me while I was working out, So you got to do it. It's got to stop making excuses, and you've got to just start with even just a walk, even just,
Yeah. I love that, because the one thing that I love about all three of you is the fact that you keep your kids busy, regardless. And I'm not talking about just bringing them to me to gymnastics or anything like that. And talking like your kids are not doing gymnastics now, Laura, but they playing piano, playing the guitar. It's very important to keep the kids doing something.
They had so many things going on. We had to take each 2 activities because we could not keep up. We had Madison like 2 years ago. She was like, my arms hurt and I have more jobs than Daddy. And she was just going on and on. We're like, all right, pick 2 activities that you're going to do. But yeah, listen, I'm a firm believer that we need to keep them busy in order to keep them in the right track. It's when these kids don't have anything to do that they fall in the wrong steps.
Sure.
So that's my theory.
I know that with Vanecia, same thing, Vanecia, because you want your kids learning everything. You want them learning Spanish, English.
Spanish and gymnastics. You get one teacher.
Yeah, we discussed that.
Instead of 2.
We discussed that. So
gymnastics ESL classes, new business, guys.
Yeah. Well, we do teaching in Spanish. We're making count in Spanish and siéntate and things like that. We do things like that for fun, to make it and interesting.
So Vanecia, what about you? Any advice to mothers trying to balance it all and stay fit?
I feel like Laura covered most of it. The one thing I could say is don't beat yourself up. That's one of the things that I had to come to a conclusion that I can't do it all. And as much as people look at from the outside and say, oh, you're a superwoman, you know, at one point I was just like, I don't even want to be called that because I can't superwoman right now.
And that's okay.
You know, I just realized just take steps, you know, day by day, do something, and just start out wherever you can at any point. I don't care if you start off doing 20 push-ups and you're like, oh my God, that was really hard. Maybe I'll start less next time, but start somewhere. Mm. And once you start and it feels good that you just did that, then you're going to want to do it again. Like, oh, I just did that. So I want to see if I could do it again. And I think for mental stability, that is like, if your mind is not there, it's just forget it. So for mental stability, whatever you need to do. And I think any kind of physical activity really helps that. And I realize more than ever, and I'm not tooting your horn, Pete, but I'm really talking about, I think I've shared this with you about gymnastics, how I think it's underrated, that I didn't really look at the sport the way I do now. Now that I really understand that, wait a second, this is a very important thing for young children, especially going through something like this. To just, if it's helping me this way, I can imagine what it could do for them. To just learn day by day, little steps, little accomplishments. There's so much to do, and so much to learn. So you know, just taking it day by day. And my thing is, just don't beat yourself up. And Pete, you know, I've messed up a lot. Just getting one thing right. But you know what? I'm so proud that I even tried. Oh my goodness. I'm so proud just myself even trying.
You just have to try.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even the smallest step is a big step.
Yes.
You know, people don't realize that. They want to go from 0 to 100, and no cars work that way. You know, if a car works that way, you're going to be in trouble. So you got to take a small step. And you know, one of the biggest things for me is when someone accomplished something that they couldn't do before. It doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to be a gymnast or just something that you couldn't do before, or that you believe that you couldn't do before. Because once you do that little small step, then it leads to other bigger things, and then it's like an avalanche. Then you start growing.
Yes.
You know, it's for your mind and your body. So I'm so glad that we had this show. This was actually my wife's idea. We're going to have another big star, but you are the stars.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, this is what people don't realize. You don't have to.
It's a pleasure to be on.
Thank you.
It really is. You guys are the best. I look up to you both, so it's so nice. Thank you for having us.
I'm so glad that you guys accepted to be on.
Last two comments before we let you guys go. My sister-in-law Carmen says, coffee and quiet. Yes. And then Rachel said, did she say coffee? Laura and Vanecia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And Vanecia, we say
thank you guys. I'm going to go get these kids to bed.
Good night.
Okay. That was awesome. That was exciting.
That was actually also our first show where we had multiple guests.
Yes. Oh, first show.
So who is still on and who wants to participate in the contest? Rachel, we have your gift. So when we see you, we will give it to you. Daryl, you're all superwomen. Daryl, they really, really are.
Really are.
And like I mentioned last week, I didn't want to use myself as an example because I told you my kids are much older. So the dynamics are a little bit different as opposed to when you have younger children who are like in the thick of it in school. They need the assistance and things like that, and need someone to be like there and helping. So I said, where can we find some moms? And you've literally taught.
I got it. Yeah, I taught all of them actually now.
Yeah.
I literally got Melissa today.
Yes. I know.
I got it today just before, because when I put up the show, and I'm thinking, who could I bring on?
Yeah.
You know, and I saw Melissa was the first one to click like on the.
Oh wow!
So that was a sign for me.
That's not a coincidence.
That was a sign.
That was meant to happen.
And as soon as she clicked like, I sent her a message. I said, "Could you be on the show tonight?" And she's working on the front line.
Yeah.
And she was awesome.
On the front
She was awesome. And I've been watching her doing her work, and she actually tagged me on one of the workouts she was doing. She said, "I'm doing your record."
Oh, okay, guys. So who is on that knows the answer to
the question that I forgot?
And I actually went back and I reposted it again.
Okay.
Earlier today.
I had the book someplace where we put the question.
Well, I typed it into the post.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, you made it easy for them.
Yeah. Well, I typed it into the post, and I also posted the link to Joanne's video to make it easy, so they didn't have to go to YouTube. I'm still here, but I want to give others a chance.
Who's that, Darryl?
Answer to the question. Who else is it? Where is Daniel?
Oh, Daniel sent me a message that he wasn't going to be on tonight.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he, you know.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We still love him, and we love all of you.
Yes.
And actually, yes, what the question was. Now I'm beginning to remember what the question was. And guess what? Joanne announced on our show, on that show, about the thing that she got with the Japanese. And she got it, and she posted it today. So we say congratulations to her.
Yes.
And there was another mother that I was going to bring on, Julianne, but she said I wasn't sure that she could make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that was exciting. I like that. Okay. Also tomorrow
we're gonna do a show because
we're doing a show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Another special show.
Yes.
Yes.
And
she was one of my gymnasts as well.
It's very interesting the way this came about because Barbara.
Yes.
Malinowski.
Yes.
I hope I said that right. You actually spoke about her briefly when I interviewed you back in the summer.
Right.
And she just happened to post yesterday or Sunday. Yesterday was Sunday. Oh my gosh. She said, ask me anything about my life as a dwarf, having dwarfism.
Right.
So I said, and you were trying to think of a question, and I said, no.
No. I actually wanted her to come on, and then they could ask her live on our show. So that's why I didn't answer.
Yes.
And we have such a history with me and her.
It was a very cute story.
Right, and I'm going to save some of those things for the show. And I'm not going to say, but we have a history, and I hope that overall gymnasts that know her will tune in tomorrow. We're probably just going to tag some of them.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Was she your first marriage?
She was my first marriage. Yes. But again, I don't want to mention too much about that.
Well, Darryl already knows because he was watching.
Darryl was listening?
I think he was on that day.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're not even gonna mess with the trivia question tonight because we could always do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we can, repost it. Rachel, you need to. Well, she actually did answer the one about Oliver.
Okay.
She answered the one about Oliver.
So we have your gift, and we forgot to bring it Sunday because there was so many things going on.
There was so much going on. Yeah.
There was. So Rachel, we will bring your gift. And you know who else we could have for this show?
Who?
Your sister-in-law.
That's true.
Carmen, but we didn't know if she's working tonight or not.
No.
Oh. Yes.
She's not working.
Well,
you know what? She's also an essential worker, so she worked the entire the entire pandemic, both her and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should do an interview with them husband and wife fitness fanatics.
Yeah, he's a fanatic, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, husband and wife fitness fanatic. This girl.
Well,
This morning I get up. Every morning I try to get up and do my qigong.
yes.
And then this morning I got up a little later,
Mm-hmm.
and then we both went to the chiropractor to see the famous Dr. Rosa, and so many things going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to
We should.
bring him back on.
We should.
I don't know if we could talk about this yet, but this is huge.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He's
He's
an
really
awesome dude. He's such
just-
an awesome guy. Hi, Dr. Rosa.
Oh, is he there?
I don't know. I just do that.
Well,
I just do that
Hi,
randomly.
Dr. Rosa. Okay, so we're not doing the trivia question today. We're
So
gonna do it tomorrow.
right, I'm going to announce it, and we're also going to repost it for tomorrow's show. So in our live interview with Joanne Mason Parker, billiard pro, what is the name of the gentleman that paid her pageant fee, and how much was the fee? Do not answer it tonight.
And that was an enjoyable interview, so you could go back and watch it.
Yeah, we'll post the link for that.
Actually, all interviews so far have been great. We haven't
Mhm.
had one bad one.
Right. And I already think I have a trivia question in my head for next Monday. So as long as we get through the one tomorrow night, I'll ask it tomorrow night, and then we will get the answer next Monday.
And just let me tell you, there's some people that are waiting to be on the show. We are going to bring you in. The list is a little bit big, so we'll bring you in eventually.
Yeah.
There's one that was and we had to change one of the order because the international film, the Catskill International Film was happening, so we brought Charles instead.
Mhm.
But then we just keep going.
Yeah.
Gonna keep going. A lot of interesting guests coming on,
Lots and lots of interesting guests.
and we're glad and we thank Laura,
Vanecia, and Melissa.
and Melissa. We thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, ladies,
Tweed
thank you so
Talks.
much for joining us live on Tweed Talks.
And as always,
Tweed Talks.
love, peace, and harmony.
Harmony.
One
See you tomorrow
day
night.
I'm going to explain what that means.
Okay. See you tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. tomorrow with Barbara.
with Barbara Malinowski. See you guys.
Okay.